How's it going? This is Jackson, and I'm just going to review this Packers game right quick. Now, we're up 43-26. 2 minutes left in the game. Look, the game isn't technically over, but it's basically over. Let me just start off by getting the negatives out of the way because I'm a pessimistic. I am a pessimistic fan. So let's start off with the negatives. Defense is horrible. This defense is an embarrassment. And look, you can't expect for us to constantly have Aaron Rodgers performing this way week in and week out. So us having a sensational performance from this offense can't happen every single week. That's just not how things are going to go. This defense needs to be patched up. But at the same time, this is what happens, Goot. This is what happens when you don't want to add any pieces to this defense. Your first 3 draft picks were a fullback. You didn't draft anybody on defense until the 5th round, and it was an injury-prone linebacker on Minnesota who I hadn't even heard of. He was a projected undrafted free agent. Regardless, let's get to the offense. It was too good. Davante Adams, honestly, is better than Jordy Nelson. I'm just being honest. He's better than a prime Jordy Nelson. He's better. I don't care what anybody says. Loud playing. This dude is reliable from anywhere on the field. He's reliable from deep. He's reliable from short. He's reliable down the field. He's reliable down the middle. He's reliable from the intermediate. This guy gets everything. This guy has arguably the best route running in the league. His hands are automatic. He dropped a pass early on in the game, but that was because it was broken up. It was the first play. It was on the line of scrimmage, I think on the first drive. Second drive, I think it was, where turnover on downs at the goal line. He dropped the pass, but it was broken up. Otherwise, this guy's hands... And by the way, he tied the record all-time with Don Hudson. I'll let you guys know if he breaks it. He tied the record all-time with Don Hudson for receptions in a single game with 14. This guy is reliable from anywhere on the field. His hands are automatic. He's arguably the best route runner in the league. This guy just absolutely demolished Cameron Dantzler. Cameron Dantzler should be ashamed of himself because this guy got humiliated by not only Davante Adams, but Marquez Valdes-Scantling. And getting humiliated by Marquez Valdes-Scantling is not a good sign because that guy is not very good. You know, he had some good plays today, but he also had some bad ones. He dropped a pass, a couple passes actually. One down the field, wide open with nobody around him. He had a very bad penalty, although Aaron Rodgers made up for it by throwing a deep pass to Allen Lazard, so it's all good. But regardless, he dropped a pass, way downfield, wide open. But he also, I think, went offsides, or it was a false, I think it was a holding call on him that brought us back 10 yards, and it was a 2nd and 20 as a result of that, as a consequence. So, look, Scantling is not very good, let's be honest. But he had some good plays. And the one thing he can do well, he can't do anything else well besides just running in straight lines and getting separation that way. His hands suck. But look, if he can just do that, if he can just make one play of 15 yards plus every single week, just doing that exact same thing, he has a role on the team, you know? Maybe he can be a good special teams guy, who knows? What else happened? Allen Lazard didn't show up and pretty much didn't do anything till that one drive where caught a pass about 40 yards downfield and then scored a touchdown. Good for him. What else happened? Aaron Rodgers went completely off. Look, I feel like Rodgers, over the past few years has sort of been trying to divulge himself from the team system and trying to play a more individualistic game, a more selfish game, relied around him being the hero because he's so used to that in his whole career. Mike McCarthy pretty much had them playing street football where Rodgers would just make miraculous throws every single drive and get us downfield and have us score touchdowns. But ultimately, he's playing within the system. And you can tell these play designs for guys like Tyler Ervin, even Davante Adams in the flats, even that out route to Davante Adams for a 2nd touchdown. You can tell Rodgers is playing within the system. He's actually playing within an actual system that is relied upon the team and not just him making incredible plays. So, props to Rodgers and props to Matthew LaFleur. I had some skepticism about Matthew LaFleur, but this guy, he called an amazing game. Undoubtedly, he called an amazing game. This guy, look, his goal line play calling was not very good in the early portion of the game, but it started to pick up afterwards. Josiah DeGuara, also. H.A. Dillon got his first touches as well, I forgot to mention. Josiah DeGuara, what are my thoughts on Josiah? Hey, he played pretty well. He actually fulfilled a good role. Here's the thing, though. I feel like it was already being made obvious that he has a role on the team. He's doing a good job blocking for the out routes and things like that and setups for Tyler Ervin. Why didn't you use him on the goal line early on? We could have probably put up 60, honestly, we could have put up 60 points. But Matt LaFleur just didn't want to use him in the goal line, and we blundered three straight drives on the goal line. Great safety by Jair Alexander. Jair Alexander played great. Darnell Savage had some good plays early, had some bad plays later on. Gave up a wide open touchdown to Thielen. Linebackers terrible, horrible. Look, you got Kamal Martin higher up on the depth chart than Oren Burks. Oren Burks is trash. You cannot keep this guy on your roster. You drafted this guy in the 3rd round just because he's a pure athlete, and he's doing absolutely nothing. I don't even think he hasn't played in a single game in like 2 years. This guy's useless. Christian Kirksey played all right. Zadarius Smith did his thing. Alexander had some great plays. Had a bad play later on in the second half, but overall he played solid and had that safety, which really, in my opinion, turned the momentum of the game. And good victory. Good victory for the Green Bay Packers. We advanced to 1-0, and can't remember who we take on next week, but we're now 1-0 in the division. Aaron Rodgers just went absolutely off, and if we can continue this, and if we can continue seeing Rodgers play within our system and actually play a style conducive to us actually winning games, we're gonna do great this season. But we got to keep doing that because this defense is talentless. It's horrible. It's horrible. Look, this defense is an embarrassment. I mean, look, Mike Pettine's play calling on defense was also just an atrocity. You're playing prevent defense, and here's the thing. You're up by 3 possessions at the start of the 4th quarter. It's not that hard to get 3 possessions with the remainder of the 4th quarter. We had to rely on Rodgers doing magical things in order to bail him out. But if you saw Matt LaFleur's play calling, this guy was running a prevent defense from as early as late in the 3rd quarter. And he was just giving up wide open pass after wide open pass after. And you expect this defense to actually do things down the field after they were just giving up big plays from the outside of the game. Run defense was terrible. Kenny Clark got hurt, which is a very bad loss. Dalvin Cook was running all over us, scored a touchdown. So, I like what I saw on offense, but defensively we got to patch things up. Because you just can't continue this on offense every single week. It's not going to happen. So, I like the victory. We advanced to 1-0. I'm feeling optimistic. And I think we have a good system on offense. Look, we didn't add anybody at wide receiver, which we should have. We should have added a wide receiver. Honestly, to be quite frank with you, I still believe we should have drafted T. Higgins. I mean, look, we could have taken somebody. I mean, look, if you drafted T. Higgins, you wouldn't have had to have Marquez Valdes-Scantling starting throughout the game. All right, and he would not have made the mistakes that Scantling made. He would have been able to get those same plays down the field, but use physicality, catch passes in traffic, and he also wouldn't have had that stupid holding call. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. Good win. We advanced to 1-0. Have a good one.